Hey. This is Nisha Mars here with my co-host Leon. So we are Coffee Chicks and Comics, formerly known and now known as the 50 Spot. And we are back with part 2 of our 2024 movie tier. Just released part 1 yesterday. Thank you for bearing with us as we got through Comic Palooza unscathed. A little exhausted, but had to have a reset. So here we are. Leonce, do you want to review the rules to our tier, which we have off to the right, and then we'll recap on the movies that we've already submitted for?
Yes, I do. First, I want to say a huge thank you and shout out and fare thee well. See you later to all the folks that stopped by the booth at Comic Palooza that stopped to see us, to talk with us, to pick up some books, to pick up some shirts, pick up some merch. That was a fantastic time. Thank you all for showing up. Keep an eye out. If you're going to be in the Cleveland area, we got an event coming there. If you're going to be in the San Antonio area, we got an event coming there. Keep your eyes open. I'll be shooting out a newsletter this coming week to give you a heads up on those events and some other things that we got going on at 50/50 Comics. Yeah, man, I had a great time, and I'm still kind of high about it. I was so high that I forgot to do the live hit. So what I did was I went live on Instagram. And I did not connect that to YouTube. I should have gone live on YouTube. That was my bad. And there was a lot happening. I was there, greeting people. There was never a good time for me to just stop and do a live. I feel walk the aisles and show you all the incredible cosplay, all the great exhibits, some of the celebrities that were there. We'll be planning on doing that different going forward because I absolutely dropped the ball on that one. But fool me once, shame on you. Fool me. You're not gonna fool me again is the point. But anyway, that's that. So that was what happened there. Now on to this week and our movie tier rankings for 2024 movies that are gonna be coming out. We have gotten up through the first 8 or so. Is it 8, 9? Not up through the first 9 movies. We are looking at the 2024 movie releases and we are ranking them on our tier list. S tier is ticket already bought, and A tier is I'm there opening weekend. B tier is I'll go if I'm invited. C tier is I'll wait for streaming, and D is why was this made? So that is the long and short of the rankings that we got going on here. If you have any ideas, if we're absolutely right, go and let us know down in the comments below. If we are completely wrong, go ahead and let us know that in the comments as well. We would love to hear from you. And I think that about covers it. I think we can dive in. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we are diving right on in, and we first let's recap the first 5 months, which we brought you basically all of coming out of winter into spring up till June, and then we're gonna discuss the summer this year. So according to our A-listers,
start the D tier.
Start with the D tier. All right. So according to the Never See Again, why was this even made? We kick it off with Madam Web and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So if you have not seen these movies and you want to know our reasoning for not watching them, you'll have to watch last week's episode, which viewed today. Starting off with our C listing, we have 4. We did Night Swim, which I never heard of as of last week until Leon's told me. And then we go into Dune Part 2. We finish it up with Kung Fu Panda 4 and this week's release, which was Furiosa, the Mad Max series. So Furiosa, honestly, it actually is getting a lot of decent reviews. So I might be persuaded to actually go see it if invited. Then we go into our B-listers, which was If We Were Invited. And that was Godzilla and Kong. And then If, which was the Imaginary Friend saga. And finally, our A-listers, which is a must-have, must-record, must-pre-order your tickets, definitely must-see, was
That's not pre-order. That's their opening weekend.
Yes.
That. Because pre-order is S tier, and we don't have any of those.
So that was Argyle and Ghostbusters 5, which was the Frozen Empire. And so we're going to kick it off with summer, and let's dive right on in. So the first one is Ballerina, the Iron Wick or the John Wick spinoff. I am not a fan of spinoffs for John Wick because, again, that kind of goes into sequels and it even goes into sub-stories. And for some strange reason, the B characters in the movies, when you try and do a spinoff, it kind of ends up being bad. However, the previews for this one looks pretty decent. I may go see it if I'm invited.
That is very kind of you. I enjoyed the original John Wick. I've mentioned before, I'm really hard on sequels. I'm not. John Wick has a Fast and Furious feel to me. I'm sure that there are meaningful differences between the films. I'm just not there for them. I like action movies. I like stunts and set pieces and fight sequences. I enjoy those. I don't know. They're just that. I also love Keanu Reeves, but there doesn't seem to be enough meat on the bone for me to like jump into this. So if I'm barely into John Wick, I'm absolutely not at all into Ballerina. I'm sure that some folks will love it. I'm sure it's going to likely be good. I will wait for it to come out on streaming, but it doesn't ring the bell for me.
Okay, and if I remember this right, between the two of us, if it is good and bad, we are going to go with the lowest rating.
So yeah, what do you had it as a
I'll go if I'm invited.
And I had it as so that's going. Oh wait, I said wait for streaming. That actually is a B.
Oh, yay!
Yeah.
All right.
5 points.
5 points. All right, cool. Next one, Bad Boys 4. I'm not gonna lie. I have literally been waiting on this movie for almost 30 years. It seems like, and that's telling my age, right? So we've been waiting for this movie to come out. We love the mashup between Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. They bring something dynamic to it. It's definitely like if you were a Lethal Weapon fan, Bad Boys would be the next thing to get behind after Lethal Weapon. It was that type of capture for our generation. So as them now being grandparents, shall we say, because they are definitely 20 to 30 years older than some of us, I am actually still looking forward to it. Am I going to be there the opening weekend? Probably not, but I will definitely go if invited.
Okay. So, like you said, people of a certain age have a real appreciation for this movie coming out. We have we watched Will and Martin live lives in the meantime, and I think that for this to finally bookend one of the real seminal action experiences of my childhood. I'm there, man. I'm there opening weekend. I can't front. Like I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be there for opening weekend. Yeah, I mean, like I said, these are older boys, but it's gonna be fun watching these old dogs do a couple of new tricks before they can't do no more tricks no more. So yeah,
I think we gotta give it the theme song now. So it's Bad Boys, Bad Boys.
Oh my God! Don't you dare!
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
I refuse. Some things get stuck in my head, and that's one of those things that does. I'm not going to give it to you.
I think the one part that really got stuck in my head was Martin Lawrence going yeah, because he didn't know the word. So it was just always that part. So
I know that Martin has had some challenges in the ensuing years, but he has had some real comic chops. Like him being the sort of accomplished comedian that he had been, it really kind of set the stage for his and Will's kind of interplay. I can remember the last time he's done a stand-up special. I'd like to hope that in his last go round, he's got at least one more good turn of comic timing and delivery left in him. That's all I have.
Well, I guess June 14th, we'll have to wait and watch out.
It is true. Let me see. So I was in A, you were a B. That is a B.
That's going to be a B. All right.
Yeah. There we go.
All right. So next one, Inside Out 2. So I don't know how many of you, if you don't have kids or you weren't a guidance counselor or a family therapist or even a elementary school teacher, I don't know how many of you actually really watched Inside Out, which was that whole emotional exploring of your feelings. They came up with all these really cool emoji-like characters, from happy to sad to mad, or he wasn't mad, he was angry, the red guy. And it kind of brought a new dynamic to therapy for kids. So they have a part 2 coming out, and they're introducing some new emotions. And they're also introducing some different other internal and external, because they're going to actually use more of the real characters in this new one. So I'm kind of excited to see where they go with that. I think I might watch that with my 9-year-old and even my 11-year-olds. So I am going to say that I will go if I'm invited. Of course, for my kids, I'm definitely going to be invited.
Inside Out was so brilliant to me. I loved it so much. Our guidance counselors at school have like the emotions board, using the Inside Out characters to kind of help, middle schoolers figure out their feelings, and there are so many. Yeah, man. My ticket is already bought. Like,
okay.
I'm there for Inside Out too. Like, I want to see how this is going to expand the story. Now, granted, like I said, I'm hard on sequels. I like this idea of stretching the idea out, stretching the concept out of emotions as personalities. I don't want them to do any more, or if they do any more, maybe one to wrap it up. But I'm giving them some lead on this one. I hope they don't
giving grace.
So yeah, so a 5 and a 3, that works out to an 8. So yeah, that's gonna fall at an 8.
All right, so there you have it. Bad Boys and Inside Out, June 14th. It's going to be a double hitter day. That's like one of those days where you go spend all day in the movie theater. You get your new ticket, and you get your 4 o'clock ticket.
Yeah.
And you eat somewhere in between.
Yeah.
All right, so June 28th, we jump right into A Quiet Place, day 1. I honestly have not seen a preview. This is one of those, like Night Swim, I don't know anything about. It seems like an independent film, maybe, but I'm quite sure there's a couple, A-list characters in there to make everybody want to watch. So, Leon's, take it over. What's A Quiet Place?
Hell if I know. I do not do horror movies. Or in this case, it's a suspense thriller that is kind of in wearing a horror movie's costume, or vice versa. The first A Quiet Place was a Netflix production. I thought that was an odd choice. I didn't find it interesting at all. Now, they're resorting to some very dirty, underhanded tactics to try and get me out to go see this movie. Lupita Nyong'o, my absolute love and heart, is cast in this one. That would be the way to get me out, but not even she can get me out for this one. I'm not going to say it was a waste, but I will absolutely wait for streaming. I don't even know if it's going to be in theaters, but even if it's on streaming, I'll watch. But I'm not going to go see it.
All right. So since we cannot determine if this movie is going to be good or bad, we're just going to both agree that we'll wait for streaming.
There you go. It's
Netflix has been killing it though. Like, I mean, they have Atlas, which actually just one of J-Lo's first like superhero-y bounty hunter kind of movie, like her first sci-fi kind of thing. So that's interesting. I actually saw the preview for that. I want to see. And then I just finished, if you guys have not watched, Blood of Zeus, part 1 and part 2. That is an epic tale, and it's a very twisted tale of the Olympians and the whole entire, and they're kind of going backwards in chronological order of how, things came into existence with the gods. So it goes a lot of back and forth. Like, you are introduced in part 1 with the gods, and, Zeus is running around on Earth having many, many bastard children
all the time
how Gaia feels about her kids just being spoiled and entitled and wanting to reset the earth. So, and it ties a lot. I mean, to me, it gives me new ideas for our Naturaverse and resetting the earth, where those things are concerned. But it also gives me other ideas into what happens when the gods are actually pissed off at you, like, you know. So, but it's a great Greek tale, and check it out. So we are now in midst of summer. It is hot July, and we're going to kick it off with Despicable Me 4. Now, if you have been watching the Despicable Me series like I have, because my kids of all ages from 16 down love Despicable Me. They absolutely love Gru, and they love the Minions, and we've watched the Minions TV show and everything about Despicable Me. We are already there. So as far as Despicable Me, we are there for opening weekend. Even though I'm not going to say I was not a fan of the last one. I was not a fan of him going back to his childhood and how he became evil. But it was, I mean, it was definitely a filler. It was a great thing when you're at the drive-in to have something that keeps you laughing and entertained, and until the kids fell asleep and you get to watch real movies. So yeah, I'll be there opening weekend.
That is good to know. I am glad Despicable Me exists. I'm glad it has the dedicated fandom that it does. I am not going to be in the theater watching it. I think Despicable Me 2 was the last time I let them have it. I already told you all, say it with me, I'm hard on sequels. So yeah, again, I'm glad it is out there. I'm glad there are people who enjoy it. I love when we are able to have things that make us happy. That's not one of those things for me. I'm glad it's there in the background making somebody smile. I'll be watching other things. So it's a way for streaming. It's a way for streaming for me.
So I give it an A, you give it a C. That means it's a B.
Solid B. B all day. Yeah.
All right. Maybe I should move this one over so you know where we're at. All right. So, Twisters. Now, I don't know if you guys were around in 1997. Some of you were just born.
Mercy upon us.
Twisters was a really crappy movie about tornado chasers, and they tried to throw a love story in there.
Hold on. I just want to be fair. Twister was the original.
Twister was the original.
Shout out to what's the name? Holly Hunt. Holly Hunt, that's her name. Yeah, I love her as an actress. Like she's good at what she does. Bill Pullman was also there. He had done his thing. I enjoyed the both of them. I think that was the only thing I enjoyed about it. So there you go.
So now we have the, what is it like? Would it be considered a prequel? I'm not really sure where they're kind of picking up in the Twister.
From what I've heard, nobody in Hollywood knows what this thing is. They don't know if it's a spiritual successor. They don't know if it's a reboot. They don't know if it's a continuation, like a legit sequel. Nobody knows what it is. It's just a movie called Twisters. That's all we got.
So I mean, it's kind of like a why was it made? I mean, Twister was kind of its own movie. It was kind of its own. It came, it went. There was no hard feelings about it back then. It was one of those, either you bought it on DVD later or you just kind of were over the whole entire experience of tornadoes and whatever. It's kind of like writing a movie about hurricanes. It's a very hard concept to get behind. Natural, and I get natural disaster movies are just one of those things. People like the end of the world movies where they think the earth's going to freeze over or burn up in flames and stuff. So for me, if it was a Sunday day of doing laundry, I guess we can watch Twister or Twisters. So for me, I guess it would be a wait for streaming, because I don't know exactly sure why was it made, if it's going to be made in its image or if it's going to be made for something else.
Sounds like you're giving that two different ratings.
Yeah, I'm kind of in between C and D, and I don't think we have anything.
It sounds like you're trying to keep it out of D tier. I'm gonna put it all into D tier, all 10 toes down on this. I don't know why it was made. I don't know why it was made. Hollywood don't know why it was made. Like the first one was a kind of original concept. Let me start off by saying I'm definitely afraid of tornadoes. I just know. But that a movie about storm chasers, like I can understand that being made because there are people who are this connected to the natural phenomenon, who are scientists and analyzers who really do want to have the answers, who want to understand these forces of nature better. I get it. I get it. I don't agree, but I get it. I get it. So then that made sense. I don't know what you get from making this movie again. Like I don't like it's not like Jaws. Like the shark was actually trying to kill you. You know what I'm saying? This is Twister. This is the weather. Like the weather would do this whether we were here or not.
There's absolutely nothing.
the weather is not a villain. You know, and I don't think like chasing storms in place like set up some sort of it's a D tier, baby. No, let's move on. We are at 20 minutes already. 21.
All right, so July 26th. Oh, we have literally been watching previews since last summer on this. It was leaked at the last Comic-Con, or the very first Comic-Con of 2023. We have literally sat through all of its previews, and I feel like I watched the entire movie before it's been released. But the Deadpool movie of the century is coming out. And yes, I would say that we already bought our tickets because we are invested in seeing Deadpool because we love Ryan, right? So, and we love Wolverine and we want to see how that plays out. So, Deadpool, how do you feel?
You said that we have been watching trailers since last summer.
Yeah.
You have been watching trailers since last summer. I have been avoiding all talk of Deadpool and Deadpool and Wolverine now. I've been avoiding all talk, all speculation, all set photos. Because when I go see it, I want to be surprised. Baby, this ticket has been so bought for so long. Man, listen.
So this will be our first already bought.
Yes, our
across
first
the board.
tier.
Way to go, Marvel.
Baby, listen to me. I cannot wait. I'm struggling to not physically salivate in anticipation of this movie. Like one of the reasons I'm trying to avoid all the speculation is that I know that Reynolds, in and of itself, the way that he imagines this character, it hits in so many ways. He's the right guy for the role at the right time. And I think that his sense of humor, like the way that he has, and we've seen him kind of play out his sense of humor in several other properties. And the way that his sense of humor plays out to give a character like Deadpool and a writer like Ryan Reynolds the toys of a concept like converging the Marvel film properties. Like I think as a creative, you can just go nuts with that. There are so many jokes. And they're giving it the hard R, like they legit going R rating. Like this is the way that people are fascinated with Deadpool comics is, I think, translates proportionally to what's happening on film and the way that Reynolds and his team handle that material. So yeah, man, I don't want to be spoiled. I don't want to get any set photos. I want to go in and just feel it. You know what I'm saying? Because like you mentioned, there are so many things that are given away in trailers, in sneak peeks, in teasers.
And they're all taken out of context. I mean, they're all taken out of context. That's the thing that we have to think about with trailers. It's kind of like the news. Everything's kind of taken with a brief clip into it. So we don't know where these parts of the trailers are going to exist in the movie. A lot of people go in thinking they're right up front, and that's just going to be the movie itself. But there are like little breadcrumbs to really want you to draw you in. But I think really what draws us in are these two characters. You have Hugh Jackman, you have Ryan Reynolds, and you have two major characters as part of the X-Men and Marvel, legacy that kind of come together in a very comical and cynical way to drop something that's like epic. And I mean, it's just that. Let's just say what it's going to be. It's literally going to be an epic comedy, heightened movie. surrounded around some of the craziest Marvel crossovers that you've ever seen in life. And it's something that we've all kind of been venturing and waiting for. And then at the same time, we've been waiting in suspense for. So yeah, July 26th, I cannot wait. Tickets are already bought.
Yeah, I mean, to your trailer point, like we've seen that Marvel has, erased people from trailers before. They have left holes or reshot scenes that showed up in the trailers. Like I recognize that. I'm just saying that I want to go in with as clean a slate as possible, because I think that the jokes will land funnier, the surprises will hit better if I'm able to keep my blinders on till it's debut time. So S tier movie, S tier.
S tier. And with that, we are going to leave you there. So you have your summer flicks of June and July. You'll have to tune in for part 3 as we get through our back to school season and fall.
So what? That's 7. So that's 12 movies that we're gonna have on the next one. So we're gonna have to watch our airtime. Have to get through it real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
But until then, you guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, head on over to our website, meet some of our new team members as they'll be revealed shortly, along with some material that we have coming up for you.
Hey man, go to the website, 5050 Comics, 50 FIFTY Comics with an X. Go buy the digital versions of our comics. We have the Natura, our flagship series. We got Silas, the Reluctant Student. We got Hurricane, the family-oriented beach adventure. We got Trapper, single dad trying to raise his daughter in the middle of a gang war. We got Lycos, the armored vigilante who is fighting warlords. And there's an alien secret involved in that. So yeah, man, go check us out. 5050comics.com. Check it out. Get a shirt. That's gonna be they dope shirts.
Yeah, get a t-shirt.
Shout out
and
to
if you
Chameleon
haven't,
Effects for taking care of us with the shirts. Shout out to Chameleon Effects.
Make sure that you figure out where we're going to be next, because we have some new releases coming at you the end of this month. So
coming through. Keep your eyes
don't
peeled.
want to miss us, because they're only going to be available at the events until August, and then they'll be available online. So,
yeah, man.
But you have to come visit us at one of our shows. So San Antonio, the 3rd weekend in June. So June 20th through the 23rd, San Antonio, or June 16th, come visit our booth. June 16th, come visit our booth here in Cleveland for Juneteenth.
Yes. Good stuff.
All right. And that is it. We'll see you next week. Deuce.